Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the MIGCAST, presents Raised on Games, episode 13. On this episode, we'll be discussing the Nintendo GameCube and the Nintendo Wii. I know, this is going to be quite a funny affair, because things happened.
Should we dive right into
during this period? I think we should. We should take this, put it down, unbox it, go through the contents of which history has given us, talk about our opinions on things, and let's kind of, discuss our time with the Nintendo GameCube and the Nintendo Wii. This was a very interesting period for us towards Nintendo. We told you guys how we felt about the Nintendo 64. And that, we had a bit of games and whatnot, but that is at that point where we slowly moved over towards, the PlayStation and then the PC, obviously, too. Because, all these systems had come out. We were fully into PC. We're playing some Medal of Honor, Allied Assault. So, yeah. What do you think here?
What my fuzzy friend here is saying. The Nintendo GameCube came out on November 18th of 2001. I purchased mine December 26th of 2001, the day after Christmas. I went to Best Buy looking for a GameCube. They were kind of hard to find. Went down the aisle, and there was one GameCube sitting there. I grabbed it just as a kid came around the corner with his dad trying to find a GameCube. I quickly hightailed it out of that section because I didn't want them to know that I had gotten the last one. So I got the last GameCube that was there. Couldn't begin to tell you what game I bought with it. No clue. Because you see, here's the thing with GameCube.
Again, our opinions, guys, our opinions. I don't want to interject like I always do, but to set the stage, we told you about PC, right? Well, I'm just trying to set this timeline here. You're saying this was the day after Christmas.
Yes.
Well, if you aren't aware, Medal of Honor Allied Assault came out February 2002. It came out 2 months after you bought the GameCube.
Oh, that could explain
a month and a half.
You could explain a lot.
So, and we'll tell you about that game sometime.
So we're going to make GameCube really quick and easy here because we don't have a lot of memories of it. I remember playing a Time Splitters for it.
Yes, it was good.
I remember the Time Splitters being good for it. I remember playing Metroid Prime. I liked Metroid Prime, but I wasn't a huge fan of it because I'm old school. I like 2D side-scrolling Metroid. I do not like first-person Metroid. So I never played Prime. I think I played Prime 2 because I played Prime 1 and beat it. I think I played Prime 2, didn't go very far into it, never played Prime 3. I think the game I spent the most amount of time playing on the GameCube was probably Smash Brothers. I think Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh, gee, that was so bad. Yeah, because Melee came out for... Melee was the Wii one.
Was it?
Yeah, and the new one I think is just Super Smash Brothers for Wii U or whatever, and then Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yes. I can't. We never played this the N64 one. I don't believe we never at least.
Melee was for GameCube.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Smash Brothers Melee. And I love that game, and that's the game I remember the most.
Mm-hmm. That was the first game I ever really played on that system. Again, it was me watching you because the controller creeped me out.
Yes. I know I might get some hate for it, but Wind Waker was on the GameCube, and I did not like the Wind Waker game. I did not. I just not a fan of the art style, not a fan of the world map. I thought the sailing was garbage. In my opinion, it's the worst Zelda game. I know many of you think it's the best Zelda game. I think it's the worst Zelda game.
In defense of Josh, when this game footage was first shown, there's a special, we'll McFact it, there was an event where they had first shown the first Wind Waker footage of this game, and everybody friggin' hated it. When the game came out, there were a lot of controls and a lot of things that Wind Waker HD had later fixed. I think it was one of those cases where they wanted to try something so new that it missed with a lot of people. And I think now it's being regarded higher because I think people have had time to kind of cool off and kind of look at it better. And I think, a lot of kind of what's going on nowadays is people look at, the ugly ducklings of series sometimes, and they cling to it because it's kind of bullied on and they try to find the good in it. Like Ghostbusters 2, a lot of people like that movie.
I bought Luigi's Mansion with my GameCube.
Okay, what did you think about that one? Because that was a game that...
Nope, didn't care for it.
Okay.
Didn't care for it. I remember playing a lot of Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yes. That was when Mario Kart got... I mean, we had played SNES.
I really liked Mario Kart Double Dash. What other GameCube? Zelda Twilight Princess?
Yeah, we'll see. We played that first on Wii.
Yeah, I played
that
very little bit. Didn't care for that.
Resident Evil 4. There you go, remakes and all that.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4. Yeah, the not even so much Resident Evil 4, but the Resident Evil remake was really good. I like that. I played a lot of that.
Zero, right? And they let you... The changes were awesome graphics.
The graphics
actually made the game look scary.
Yeah,
because we talked during the PlayStation episode how scary Resident Evil 1 was at first. You go home and the dogs come out.
Yeah, Resident Evil 0. That was great. They had Mario Power Tennis on there. That was...
Oh.
I remember playing Mario Power Tennis. There was no real Donkey Kong game. They just had like the Congo. Yeah.
I sold, guys, a lot of those. I was working at Target at this time. And actually it was maybe later into the GameCube's life when it was like $99 or whatever. And they had like tons of colors to choose from. And those things flew off the shelf because of the pricing. And we sold a lot of those little Donkey Kong Conga sets or whatever. People bought that stuff up.
There was Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, which was good too.
Okay. And I thought Mario Party got really big on the 64, and I'm assuming it peaked.
I don't remember playing it on the GameCube.
Yeah. Well, because I know nowadays Mario Party is kind of seen almost like as a joke. It's kind of like not as good, rushed out.
Yeah.
But it was in its prime back then. We sold a lot of that. We sold, there was a Harvest Moon. Just going off of my experience with what I saw a lot of people liking. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Yeah, kind of cool that they had a Final Fantasy game on it, but that was when Square started to experiment with the series, and that was new. I mean, obviously now they have Final Fantasy Heroes Allied. I mean, they've kind of branched out. Well, Mystic Quest in the past. That was a huge seller, like Pikmin, all those. So the system got legs, like in typical fashion, as it was like really late and it became really cheap or whatever. But that was I'm trying to remember what the statistic is that every Nintendo system sells less. The home consoles. Don't bring up the portables in here, guys. In comments, but each home console Nintendo system sells worse as they go on or whatever. Super Nintendo, the Wii has that's the only system with like the exclamation or the asterisk or whatever, because that obviously, guys, again, we'll get to that here. So there's a reason why.
Yeah, and like Matt said, Medal of Honor Allied Assault came out shortly after that, and we
PC
played a ton of that game.
We started making clans.
I mean, that's where Mercsync came from. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that's where Mercsync came from, but that's where Mercsync was at its height of power.
The episode actually going up after this will tell you more about Mercsync, because that'll probably be
there. Yeah, probably.
One of the early ones.
So, to sum up GameCube, snatched one from a child that probably would have enjoyed it more than I did. Didn't like the Metroid on it, didn't like the Zelda on it, Mario Sunshine's garbage. I think that pretty much sums up GameCube.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to put just a basic. We almost should sign off with what you got, but I wanted to just do another thing. Like, this obviously was an era, a system with a generation where Nintendo saw the difficulties they had with 64, and they took some pretty bold chances with these series. A cel-shaded Zelda. You had freaking Mario kind of going outside the box. Metroid went 3D and all. So you saw these decisions that they made that...
And don't get me wrong.
Largely upset the old school gamers.
Metroid Prime series, many consider are the best Metroid games. Wind Waker, by a lot of people's counts, is
not
the
bad.
best Zelda game.
The HD one is really decent, but...
The HD one fixes a lot of what was wrong with
Link to the past, guys.
GameCube one. But yeah, that GameCube was just not for us. It just wasn't.
I know for a lot of you guys, like we said, with all these other systems, it was your first system.
Yeah. And
there was a lot of stuff there for you. I mean, it was the most powerful system, I believe, out of that generation from what I continue to read. But it was like the smaller discs were limiting their data.
We got to fight piracy, so here's these ridiculously small discs.
This was where they kept starting to lose the third parties. I mean, it happened before with PlayStation, but this is going to set us up now for the next next thing.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
So then we're going to jump ahead to the Wii. The Wii. I almost said Wii U. The Wii.
Oh, I have launch night story. How about that launch day?
Yeah, you did buy that
midnight launch.
I did not. I don't think I didn't buy a Wii for a while.
He saw through the...
Yeah, I saw through. I knew. I got burned by GameCube. I wasn't going to get burned by Wii.
His body was not ready.
My body was not ready. Which is funny because the Wii really ushered in all the era of all the great Nintendo memes that we have.
Yeah, it really did, because Reggie was not there during GameCube's. We'll have to look at the dates again. He came during the 2000s. He was still at the Panda restaurant group, Panda Express, and that chain or whatever. But he came in around that time, and that's when he became the face of Nintendo. Well, him and Miyamoto and Iwata or whatever. And yeah, so I mean that's when that pretty much started. Yeah, give me dates on that while I tell. Here's what happened, guys, with the launch for me. I had a couple friends that I worked with were all about the Wii. The Wii, they're selling me on it. I was kind of iffy on it. It had to be 2002-ish.
2003.
Okay, so yeah, it was right at the end of GameCube going into Wii.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, because his body was ready.
So I was home at night, like 11-ish. I'm like a big insomniac, so like I wasn't sleeping, and I was going to go to bed, and then I was looking. My friends were like, oh, yeah, dude, big line out here at Target. Because I thought about Impulse. I was going to drive by, and I'm like, all right, man, if the line's not bad, I may just run in and get a Wii U, or a Wii. But if it is, I'll just go home. So they were telling me, oh, it's kind of bad. I drove past, and I was like, yeah, that's bad. Came home. Couldn't sleep. It was around 2, 3 in the morning. And I sit there, and I think about the Target down in Lombard, off Butterfield Road, which will come up again here in a couple of Raise Down games. And I was like, man, I'm going to check over there. So I get in my car, drive by, and there's like 4 people outside.
It's Reggie's wife.
Oh, okay. So you should look up sometime his daughter too. Looks a bit like him. Maybe it's a son. He's got a kid that kind of looks like him.
It's neither here nor
there. Features. But yeah, so I decided to drive by, and there's like only 4 people outside. So I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to kind of feel this out. And it was one of those, they're not doing stuff yet, kind of the wait in the car thing. So as it started doing, I'm smart, right? I'm sitting there with my friggin' heat.
That wasn't a midnight lunch, was it?
It was like 6 or 7 a.m. Yeah, I mean, it was like the doors open launch thing or whatever. So I was waiting until, of course, all the idiots, because all the idiots are sitting in the car. And me being a young, like I wear shorts like all freaking winter. So I waited just to see a couple, and you get 2 or 3 people coming over, and it's like, all right, I'm getting freaking in line. So I get in line, I'm probably like the 8th person, and then wait like 2. I only waited like an hour and a half, 2 hours, nothing, right? We've been through worse, me and Josh. And they come out, they give us the tickets. I get my ticket. I go sit in my car for another freaking hour, go in, get the Wii, I keep wanting to say Wii U. Fun naming and all these. I get the Wii, and I get Twilight Princess, and I think I got like Electro Bits or some weird game that I thought was cool at the time, but you play it once and you're done. Impulse bought. Took it home, and then this guy was just giving me shit like crazy or whatever. Hook it up, I'm like, oh my god, this thing is so cool, and start playing the Zelda game, and it was just kind of like, yeah. It's kind of intense playing with these motion controls. Like, I'm kind of like getting tired, and
his body is not made for motion control.
It's not that it's like I'm out of shape. I want to sit and just relax and not have to focus on
movement,
on playing. And this was before Wii Motion Plus, so not very accurate controls at the moment. This was a GameCube game brought to the Wii just so they'd have a launch title that was of big proportions, and so yeah, it wasn't really for me. And my Wii at that point, I played Electric Bits for a little bit. My Wii was shut off, and I'm not even lying, guys. I played it one other time, and that thing never got turned on again. Twice, I booted up that Wii, kicked it to the curb, never bought a second. My opinion on that.
Yep.
Josh,
you know what my favorite game was?
You bought a Wii, I thought, at one point.
I did buy a Wii at one point. You know what my favorite game was for that game? For that system?
eShop back.
Well,
virtual console games.
Besides virtual console games, my favorite actual Wii game.
Carnival?
Nope. Close. It was.
I know what this one is. It's an odd pick, I thought.
No, it was the pack-in with the Wii Sports.
Oh.
That was my favorite game.
I thought you had this arcade game and you had the guns for it, and you actually really got into that. I don't know if it was like a Shadow Zone or something like that, and you loved the hell out of that. You remember? It was one of those arcade games where it's like it was an on-rail shooter.
Oh, yeah.
And you played a lot out of that. You liked that. You were in the apartments at the time, if I remember correctly. And I remember that.
My real go-to is Wii Sports, though. I played that with a lot of people. I'd like to have people over and play that. And Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I remember playing a lot of Mario Kart with people.
That's the typical guys. Wii Sports, Mario Kart, Smash.
Yeah.
I mean,
not even Smash. I didn't like Smash on the Wii.
Yeah, was it the? It's all about the GameCube control thing. And it's, I don't want to get big on guys. We're going to get to a part here where it's going to be attacky. We're going to be attacking things, right? So you guys be ready for this, right? Because there's a lot of just boneheaded decisions that were made here.
As far as I'm concerned,
I'll let him.
Nintendo 64 is where Nintendo first slipped. The GameCube and the Wii just showed that Nintendo had no clue what the fuck they were doing. It showed that they were more concerned with casual gamers or even younger gamers than they were adult gamers. Mm-hmm. I also feel like GameCube, and especially the Wii, is where they pretty much removed themselves from the console war because they could not compete with what Sony and Microsoft were putting out at the time. And I think it's a shame because they have a lot of great properties, but it's always the same. They're always doing the same thing with them. It's all right. Why am I buying an NX? Mario, Zelda. Mm-hmm.
You need the third parties in there to help push the sale. And I know for a lot of Nintendo fans that hope may be watching this still, through some of our I think it's a justified bitterness. We are not being mean here, guys.
See, well, you people have to keep in mind, you younger viewers, that maybe your first system was a Nintendo 64, or maybe your first system was a Nintendo GameCube, and you grew up with Nintendo like that. What you need to understand is we grew up with Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and those are two of the best consoles of all time ever made. So to go from something like Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64 to the fucking GameCube to the Wii was like, what? Like, seriously? And yeah, I think things got a little bit better with the Wii U. I like the Wii U better than the GameCube or the Wii, but the data still shows even the Wii U just did poorly.
PlayStation Vita has outsold the Wii U by like 1 or 2 million units or whatever. Like it's gonna keep gaining.
I feel like Nintendo 64 was the first point where everybody's like, dude, what the hell's Nintendo doing? And then GameCube was just more the same, man. Like I don't want to try to say anything badly about them.
It's a tough love thing, right? It's like being in a. It's
like I could go on and on all day about how much Nintendo pisses me off for their last 3 generations of systems, but I'm trying not to do that. Like what's done is done. Like no amount of me being angry is gonna fix that.
The thing that I find so angering. Mm-hmm. And I know that like a lot of you that like the Wii think that all those they like all the first person shooters and all that shit, and you guys don't generalize. You need us for Nintendo to succeed, and you guys will always post money. They got more money, blah 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 blah. That really doesn't matter. The fact is, Nintendo is seen as a joke, and that shouldn't be how it is. Yep. We have that relationship that your high school kid. We don't obviously have one, but I'm saying, for example, that sneaks out at night and does just dumb stuff and they don't friggin' learn from it. And it's just common sense stuff, but they keep screwing up. That was what they were to us and a lot of other gamers at the time. And that is why it's like a lot of these people have these hard feelings about it. I'm open to the NX thing. We'll jam that discussion in here.
I will more likely not buy an NX the day it comes out. I hope the NX is the great return of Nintendo, but at the same time, I think that if the NX is a flaming pile of crap, that's it for Nintendo as far as home console maker goes. Yeah. Even buy one day one, I didn't even buy a Wii U day one.
Well, and the thing is, like, cause you always see the debates on forums about how because the NX is going to be more powerful, guys. That is the truth. Yeah. But I keep telling Josh we have like this debate thing. Though. No developer will put extra polish into a game that's already on PS4 and Xbox One for the NX. That's just not it's gonna be one of those sales things. And I'm not trying to hate on Nintendo. The NX could be a massive, a great system and awesome, but it's one of those things where again, it's the people just don't. It's like I don't know if they're over it or what the deal is. With it, like I don't know, it's so frustrating. Like the thing that like mainly ticks me off too is obviously the controllers aren't good. Because when you release Smash and some of the best-selling games for your system, and you have to keep selling old GameCube controllers, something's up with your current control scheme. You need to maybe find a way to hybrid or do what PlayStation has done for 3 generations now. Technically 4. Technically 4 with a couple added features here and there. And maybe you take that GameCube controller and build around it or something like that. You need to stick to that. And I really hope they find the success with the NX. I'm hoping for it based on how gamers feel and based on how bold Nintendo has to be with this. They kind of have to go the route of the Dreamcast because the Dreamcast was so innovative and threw these ideas in. So it's kind of a weird fighting uphill. And Nintendo finally has to put all their chips in that they can. In the past, it felt like they were kind of milking it and they weren't really... They've been asleep at the wheel. And now it actually finally seems like that they're friggin' at the wheel and they maybe are going to do it. But I mean, we're going to wait and see, guys, but it's going to be an awesome year, I think. I mean,
sorry, but this is just is how it is. Like,
I feel bad too because we have re-explored some of this shit, and again, we're at that point where we're trying to just shoot through. 20-something minutes here.
If it's 20 minutes, it's 20.
Oh no, I was going to wind down, but there's a lot of these games that are getting more looks at them again now. Like you had Xenoblade Chronicles and coming back to the Wii guys. These are all games that. Had they been on the competitor systems, they would have been 10 times better. And people can argue with that. There would have been online co-ops. There would have been voice chat at the time. There would have been obviously better graphics, which gameplay don't equal graphics. It makes a pretty damn big impact. Otherwise, you'd all be playing Pong with Mario somehow in there. What
was the Mario game?
Again, it's tough. Mario Galaxy, the best Mario ever. That is actually pretty...
It came out for the Wii?
Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Despite what we will say about that,
a lot of people love those.
That is by all critics. That's the big thing. This is the best Mario game of all time. I know. They are pretty good.
That's what the critics say. I don't agree.
Comes down to controls and graphics again for you.
Mario 64 is one of the best Mario games ever made.
Yeah.
I didn't care for Mario Galaxies, either one of them.
See, it's hard with the generational thing, guys, because as you go through gaming, you find a lot of these opinions all over the place.
What were the Zeldas we got on the Wii?
It was Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword, which...
that nobody ever talks about, and a lot of people considers the worst one this year.
Motion Plus wasn't bad, but again, you're tied to the Wiimote.
And don't forget Link's crossbow training.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say you're tied to it. They had the Wii Pro controller. They had a bunch of Wii controllers. And the problem with that is that should never happen. I mean, you should try to find...
Where are all the RPGs?
They came too late is the problem with that. You had The Last Story, you had the Pandora Tower, you had Xenoblade, and Operation Rainfall, which glad that stuff came out, but it was, too late. And that's the unfortunate thing here. I mean, sorry, guys.
I think that pretty much sums up the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear something? Did you?
Thought I heard something.
Where's that light coming from?
Whoa! What the heck is that?
What is that?
Did you hear that?
Music. It's like it's heralding a great coming.
Oh my God! The sound.
Is that Gabe?
Gabe?
Is that you, Lord Gaben?
Wow.
Gabe Newell.
Have you come down upon us to bless us with that light, which is the PC Master Race?
Take us, Lord Gaben.
Take us, Lord Gaben. Take us to the land of PC Master Race. We will faithfully be your servant.